Afro-Caribbean migration to Britain. On the 22nd of June 1948, the Empire Windrush boat docked in England, carrying workers from the Caribbean. The boat specifically brought 492 men from Jamaica. This was part of the response to the British economy's desperate need for cheap labour. As a result, they were given free entry into Britain. They encountered discrimination both in jobs and in housing. In 1958, they were the targets of serious riots in Nottingham and in Notting Hill, London. The end of the Second World War had seen a marked increase in African Caribbean migrants to Britain. By the 1950s, white working-class Teddy boys were beginning to display hostility towards black families in the area, a situation exploited and inflamed by groups such as Oswald Mosley's Union Movement and other far-right groups such as the White Defence League, who urged white residents to keep Britain white. The riot is often believed to have been triggered by an assault against a Swedish white woman. On the 29th of August in 1958, she had been arguing with her Jamaican husband at the Latimer Road Underground station. A group of various white people attempted to intervene in the argument, and a small fight broke out between the intervening people and some of his friends. The following day, she was verbally and physically assaulted by a gang of white youth that had recalled seeing her the night before. Later that night, a mob of 300 to 400 white people were seen on Bramley Road, attacking the houses of West Indian residents. The disturbances, rioting and attacks continued every night until the 5th of September. The police arrested more than 140 people during the 2 weeks of the disturbances, mostly white youths, but also many black people found carrying weapons. A report to the police commissioner stated that of the 108 people charged with crimes such as grievous bodily harm, affray and riot, and possessing offensive weapons, 72 were white and 36 were black. Many laws were passed by the British government, for example the 1962 Immigrants Act, which stated that holders of a Commonwealth passport no longer had the right to live and work in the UK. Instead, they had to apply for a limited number of employment vouchers, which would mainly go to those who already had job offers or professional skills. This would mostly be white Australians, New Zealanders and Canadians. The least likely people to receive those vouchers were non-white migrants. This act followed the 1948 Immigrants Act. However, it withdrew the automatic right of residence in Britain for Commonwealth and Empire residents, which is highly racist. However, there are many success stories from African Caribbean immigrants. For example, Lenny Henry. He is an Afro-Caribbean stand-up comedian who was born in Worcestershire in 1958. He was one of 7 children and his parents were Jamaican immigrants. His first public appearance was on a highly racist British TV show called The Black and White Minstrel Show in 1975. However, he became most well known for his children's show. He has been appointed a Commander of the Order of British Empire in 1999 and has been knighted by the Queen's 2015 birthday honours, with further awards such as BAFTAs and an honorary degree. Benjamin Zephaniah is another example of a success story. He is a Rastafarian who is part of the Rastafari movement. He was born and raised in the Handsworth district of Birmingham, which was also known as the Jamaican capital of Europe. He was dyslexic and attended an approved school but left at age 13, being unable to read or write. At 15, he was well known in his community because he performed at church. He received a criminal record and a prison sentence for burglary. When he was 22, he moved to London to pursue his poetry career. He released his first book in 1980 named Pen Rhythm, with a mission to fight the dead image of poetry in academia. He had an album called Rasta in 1982 and made a tribute to Mandela, which topped the Yugoslavian charts. In 2011, Zephaniah accepted a year-long position as a poet in residence at the Keys House at Hampstead, London. Oppositions to immigration include Enoch Powell. In 1964, the Conservative MP for Wolverhampton, Enoch Powell, began talking about repatriating non-white Commonwealth immigrants from Britain. On April 28, 1968, Powell gave a speech warning that immigration would lead to violence. His words shocked many in the political establishment, and Powell was sacked from the shadow cabinet the following day. Here is a clip of his famous Rivers of Blood speech.
Well, I can already hear The chorus of execration. How dare I say such a horrible thing? How dare I stir up trouble and inflame feelings by repeating such a conversation? My answer is that I do not have the right not to do so.
There is no denying Caribbean immigrants have been a valuable asset to society. However, they've been mistreated over the years, and we cannot allow this mistreat to continue in the modern day. Thank you for listening.